Sonic's Green Hills Adventures Season 1 Chapter 21, A Rescue Mission Part 1. Marina's Point of View.
Finally, after hours of sitting in a taxi, we arrived at the forest.
How far into the woods do we have to walk, Joey?
Tom asked Jay, who had the location's coordinates on his phone.
It's about 30 minutes from here.
Joey replied as we started to walk into the forest. Then 30 minutes later, we reached a clearing with a large building in the middle.
Shadow wasn't kidding. Now, Tom, are you 100% sure the plan will work?
Maddie asked very seriously.
To be honest, I'm only 99% sure, so I need these for a plan B just in case this plan doesn't work.
Tom replied sheepishly. Well, let's see how the first plan goes and construct it from the bad results. That way we know exactly how to get in and we'll do a jailbreak, I suggested hopefully.
That'll work. Let's hope the first plan succeeds. It'll be a lot easier.
Tom said in agreement right before we started looking for the entrance into the facility.
Sonic's Point of View.
A guard came to my cell.
Come on, you! You're being punished for talking to him.
The guard said as he pointed to Shadow. No, please leave me alone. I begged because it's all I could do, but he wouldn't listen and started to drag me away. No, please, I said as I was being dragged into another dark room. What do you plan on doing to me? I asked as I shook like a leaf again. Then he started beating me up. 10 minutes later, I woke up back in my cell.
Sonic, are you all right?
Shadow asked after teleporting to my side. No, my whole body hurts. I replied weakly.
Don't worry, Sonic. I'm staying by your side. Soon we'll be free and happy in Green Hills.
Shadow said with tears in his eyes. You Green Hills with Donut Dad and Pretzel Mama, I said as it helped me from falling apart.
Marina's Point of View.
We finally found the entrance and Tom took out his sheriff badge to show it to the guard.
Excuse me, sir. I'm Sheriff Tom Wachowski of Green Hills, and there's been a misunderstanding, and my son is in your captivity, so I need to speak to your boss immediately.
Tom said very seriously as he showed the guard his badge. However, I could see that this was going to take forever, so I walked over to my friends with an idea. Okay, 2 of us need to sneak in to find Sonic, because we need to guarantee he'll at least be coming home with us today. While the rest of us will keep these of us busy in trying to convince these guards to clear Sonic's name in some way. The question is who's coming with me, because I'm definitely going. I told them in a hushed voice.
I know you already forgave me, but I feel it's still not enough to make up for it.
Jessica said as she stood next to me. Great, let's go, I said right before I looked to make sure no one would see us sneaking in, and we snuck in. However, there was a flaw in this plan. How are we going to find Sonic in gun headquarters? It was absolutely hook on the inside.
We're just gonna have to run all over the place to find him because this place is who.
Jessica said, taking the words out of my mouth. You know, kidding, however, my instincts are telling me that we should go right, I replied as I felt something pulling me towards the hallway on the right. Was it my instincts or something else? I couldn't be sure, so we ran right and we eventually found a cell block. My instincts were right. This has to be it. Sonic, are you here? It's us, we came to take you home, I said as we looked into each of the cells.
Sonic's Point of View.
Our eyes perked up when we heard a voice calling out for me. Wait, is that who I think it is? Yes, Marina, I'm here. Follow my voice. I called back to Marina. Then we heard footsteps running towards the cell. Then Shadow teleported back to his cell, telling me he wanted to make a dramatic reveal for the fun of it, which made me giggle internally.
Marina's Point of View.
We heard Sonic's voice and we gasped in relief. Come on, Jessica, he's somewhere up ahead, I said as we ran faster towards where Sonic's voice came from. We finally found Sonic locked up in one of the cells. Me and Jessica gasped in horror at the terrible state he was in. He looked like he was beaten up, and something about the position his legs were in as he was laying on the ground seemed unnatural. Sonic, what have they done to you? I was feeling completely distraught.
Marina, Jessica, is that really you?
Sonic asked us weakly in disbelief, and that was heartbreaking to me.
Yes, it's really us. We're gonna get you home.
Jessica replied reassuringly.
Oh, thank goodness it's you. They injected an experimental serum into me, and from what I've observed so far, it seems to neutralize my speed. I can't even use, let alone feel, my legs right now. And not too long before you called out for me, one of them beat me up, just for talking to Shadow, the one who answered my phone last night.
Oh, Sonic, that's awful. But speaking of Shadow, where is he? I need to thank him face to face for telling us where you two were. I said in response as I was curious about what Shadow looked like, and I owe him for helping us.
I'm right here,
Said the person from inside the cell behind us. Then someone came out of the shadows, and we saw that it was another anthropomorphic hedgehog. Least to say, mine and Jessica's jaws dropped to the floor. Would be another hedgehog. I have so many questions right now. However, this amazing at the same time. But anyway, seriously, thank you for help us. I owe you big time. Hey, why don't you come with us? I said as I found my voice, recovered from the shock, and finally let a huge smile formed on my face.
No problem, Marina. I'll be happy to answer them once when this whole fiasco is over. As for owing me, Sonic coincidentally promised me that I could come with him when you guys came to rescue him.
Shadow replied with a smirk on his face.
Really, that's great. So how do we get out of here? If Sonic's legs are like this, let alone getting you out of those cells.
Jessica asked as she started to panic. Jessica, calm down. Wait a minute, Shadow. How did you get Sonic's gun if you were in the cell on the opposite side of the hallway like you are now? I asked with a suspicious look.
Oh, well, one of my powers is teleportation, speaking of which. Chaos Control!
Shadow said, and suddenly he disappeared from his cell and appeared in Sonic's. Who's Shadow? That's amazing, I exclaimed in surprise.
And as for Sonic's problem with walking, I'll carry him.
Shadow added as he picked Sonic up Riddle's style and then teleported out of the cell.
Thanks, Shadow. But where do we go now, Marina?
Sonic asked nervously. That's a good question. You see, Tom, Eddie, Crystal, and Joy are trying to negotiate with the guards so we can clear your name for good, and so this never happens again. We just wanted to have 100% guarantee that you'll. And now, Shadow, be getting out of here with us today. I replied sheepishly.
Oh, thanks, guys. So that means we can't leave the actual building until my name is officially cleared, right?
Sonic asked nervously. Yeah, I'm afraid so, Sonic. Now we just need a safe spot to hide in while the others are doing the negotiating. I replied seriously. Well, you guys, anyway, I'm going to go see how they are holding up. I'll call you once I'm back there and have an update for you guys. So, Sonic, turn your phone's ringer to vibrate so it doesn't give your hiding spot away to the gun soldiers. I added seriously, then Sonic did just that.
Okay, don't. Now, Marina, just please be careful.
Sonic said reluctantly. Oh, well, Sonic, good luck to you too, I said right before I left.
Shadow's point of view.
After Marina left, we began to run cautiously as we looked for a place to hide.
Guys, look.
Sonic said as he pointed to a large group of gun soldiers in front of us.
Shadow, any ideas?
Jessica asked fearfully through gritted teeth.
Ought you to grab Shadow. He's supposed to be moved to a prison in Australia.
The leading soldier demanded. I don't think so. Chaos Control! I said, and we teleported to, and far away from where the group of soldiers were, in the building.
Way to go, Shadow.
Sonic said happily in relief. Hey, thanks, Sonic, however. This just got a lot harder, I replied seriously.
No kidding. I was scared that if it weren't for our friends showing up when they did, you would have been taken away. I'd never see you again, and already halfway to Australia by now, to which would lead to me being all alone in this awful place.
Sonic said with tears falling down his face as he was trembling in fear. Don't worry, Sonic. I won't let that happen. After all, I'm the ultimate life form, I told Sonic reassuringly.
Where do we go now?
Jessica asked seriously. Follow me, I replied as I saw a private office. Once we were inside, we shut the door behind us, then I gently set Sonic down, right before me and Jessica joined him.
Nice thinking, Shadow.
Jessica said as she leaned back onto the wall in relief of the fact we could all relax for a little bit. Thanks, Jessica, I said confidently.
Sonic's point of view.
I felt my phone vibrate. I knew that it was Marina calling me, so I answered it. Hey, Marina, found a safe place to hide. However, the gun soldiers are on high alert for finding Shadow. They were apparently planning to move him to a different prison in Australia. Also, do my parents...
Oh, that's not good, however. I made it back to the others safely and told them. They said it was more than okay, however. I kept what he is as a surprise for the negotiation. They aren't budging.
Marina replied hesitantly. I'm actually out of plan, just hanging out there. We've got this, I said just as a plan formed in my mind. It was gonna be risky, but it's the best idea I could come up with.
Oh, okay, well, good luck to you three.
Marina said happily. Thanks, Marina. We'll call you back as soon as we can. I told her before hanging up. Shadow was looking at me, completely confused.
Sonic, what did she say?
Shadow asked seriously in concern. Well, she made it back to the others safely. They know and are more than happy that Shadow's coming with us, although she's keeping the fact that you're an anthropomorphic hedgehog a surprise too. How the guards aren't budging. So come up with a plan, but it's a little risky. I replied as reassuringly as I could.
Oh, really? What is it?
Shadow asked with a raised eyebrow. We'll go straight to Commander Jonathan and do everything we can to prove our innocence, including some home videos I have on my phone. I said seriously.
Okay, let's do it.
Jessica said enthusiastically. The only question is, where is he right now? I asked nervously.
He never leaves his office, except to go home for the night.
Shadow said as he picked me back up.
Now, allow me.
Chaos Control!
Shadow said, and we appeared in Commander Jonathan's office, and boy, we gave him quite a scare. Sorry, we didn't mean to scare you, but we need to talk, so please just listen to what we have to say. I said with apologetic seriousness.
I'm listening, but first, who is that girl in Shadow? You should be on your way to Australia by now, so what are you doing here?
Commander Jonathan demanded with folded arms.
I'm Sonic's friend from Green Hills Junior High School, and I want to help clear his name.
Jessica replied firmly. And look, when it comes to Shadow, was just a whole misunderstanding. He was created to help and protect humanity. As for what I need you to hear me out on, I have proof that I'm not a threat. I explained very seriously.
Show me this proof, Sonic.
Commander Jonah then requested curiously, so I took my phone out and pulled up the collection of videos I saved to it. They're pretty much home videos of me enjoying a normal, happy life in Green Hills. I explained as I handed the phone to him. Then he, and yes, I could tell, watched the videos of me meeting Coco and performing at the musical showcase.
Well, the people of Green Hills are crazier than I thought. Also, how could they allow you in a human school?
Commander Jonah then asked in disgust, which made me gasp in horror.
Ooh, that's crossing the line. Look, I used to think about him like that too. But that was before I got to know him. When I did, I realized I was completely wrong. He's just like any other lonely kid who wants friends, a family, and to live life to the fullest. Also, speaking of which, Tom and Maddie Wachowski love Sonic and Sonic loves them, and he was willing to give himself up in order to save Tom's life from Dr. Robotic not even 20 minutes after they officially met. He's the first thing on the planet.
Jessica said very intensely. In fact, Tom and Maddie adopted me on my birthday, which was not too long ago, and are my family now. They did it out of love in their hearts. I added with tears of both pain from his insults and joy as that amazing memory came back to my mind, fell down my muzzle.
Do you have any proof of this?
Commander Jonathan asked skeptically. But of course, it's the video you haven't watched yet, I said casually.
Hold up, I want to see it too.
Shadow said before Commander Jonathan could play it.
Very well, come on over.
Commander Jonathan said as he rolled his eyes. Then he played the video, and since I was still in Shadow's arms, I got to experience that moment all over again.
Shadow's point of view.
As we watched the video, my heart melted as tears fell down my muzzle from the sheer beauty of this important moment of Sonic's life. Oh my gosh, that was so wholesome and beautiful, I said as I walked back over to Jessica. As I did this, I felt Sonic trembling and heard him sobbing. Sonic, are you okay, buddy? I asked, full of worry.
I'm okay, it's just that moment is one I'll treasure forever.
Sonic said with a hoosh smile on his muzzle. Then we looked over at Commander Jonathan to find out how he was reacting to it. But before he could say anything...
Sir, Shadow's escaping.
One of the soldiers said but stopped as their eyes fell on me.
Nice try, Shadow. Get him.
The soldier said darkly. Then they yanked Sonic out of my arms.
No, Shadow.
Sonic cried as he was failing to fight back, thanks to the serum giving him a disadvantage, and threw him to the ground. Then at least 3 soldiers grabbed onto me.
No, Shadow. Please leave him alone. Commander Jonathan, do something. Stop them, please. Didn't the video prove to you that I'm being completely honest with you?
Sonic begged desperately.
All that proof was that coming mad I what your sky are loonies.
Commander Jonathan replied harshly. The last thing I heard before I was taken out of the room. No, Sonic. Let me go, you fools. I said as I was filled with dread and poor anger. However, they wouldn't listen. I would have used my powers to escape their grip, but that would give them the wrong impression. I needed to show them that I would never harm anyone, especially in the way they're thinking I would. Despite knowing all of this, I sobbed uncontrollably, more than I ever had in my entire life.
Sonic's point of view.
When I heard Commander Jonathan insult my parents like that and saw Shadow being dragged away from us, something in me snapped. I felt a rage stronger than I've ever experienced in my life, coursed through my entire body. I looked down at myself as I saw my fur color darken to a shade of blackish blue, a darker blue version of my lightning coursing through my quills. And I could feel my legs again. After that, I don't remember anything.